and welcome to the Pledge Training Podcast. I'm here with Deno from Exemplar Fitness. He's a local trainer and has a military background and is an overall beast.
I don't know about that.
He won't brag, so I have to.
I'm blushing.
So the topic of this podcast is not only going to be a little bit about Deno's story, but also his belief that finding your purpose and finding your why is crucial to anyone achieving big goals.
Absolutely. So a little bit about my military background. So I did 21 years in the Air Force. I was a combat photojournalist.
Okay.
That job entails me going out into combat with typically a joint force.
Right.
So Army, Marines, Navy, of course Air Force. But if they were on the ground doing combat operations, and I was typically attached to them, and my job was to document full spectrum documentation of everything that went on, from mission planning to training to actual combat documentation to post battle documentation down to sensitive site exploitation and collections of imagery. So I did that for 20 years, and then when it was time for me to grow up and get out of the military, I decided, I started doing a job that I absolutely hated.
What was it?
I worked for a fireplace company as their branch operations manager.
Okay.
Wasn't very good at it.
Probably weren't that excited about it.
I didn't have any experience, and the training, wasn't exactly there. And I found myself just kind of spinning my wheels, not going anywhere with it. Tried as hard as I could, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
And one day, my wife looked at me and, she just said, you're not happy with this, and we need to go elsewhere. So, we parted ways, and it was nice to have that backup, to go and kind of find my passions, and it just happened to be fitness.
Right.
So,
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So what was the moment when you realized, or what was it that your wife noticed that said, hey, like, that's it, I've had it, you do something else?
Well, my wife never saw me.
Fair enough.
So I retire, I get out of the military, no more deployments, no more temporary duty locations,
yes,
exercises. I'm supposed to be home. And I'm never at work. I was probably working, anywhere between 13, 15 hours a day. I was a salary guy, and they knew they had me. Hey, he won't leave without getting the job done. And a lot of times I found I was there by myself, trying to get things done. And it was no knock. I appreciate the opportunity they gave me, but it wasn't a good fit. It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And when you're in the military for 20 years, you're not used to being able to quit something if you don't like it.
Right.
And my wife was like, you can quit. What? I get to quit, and so I quit, and
people are gonna warm their houses.
Yeah, right. But I quit, and with no real safety net.
Right.
But my passion was always fitness, because it's always kind of been there for me. And I already had my certifications. I was a trainer while I was in the military. So it was kind of neat to stop and just kind of repurpose myself, if I will.
Yeah.
If you will, and I got right into fitness, started working at Gold's Gym in North Charleston. Decided that it was a great opportunity. I learned a lot, but I had a good friend who was a business consultant for the guys at Exemplar Fitness.
Oh, cool.
And they gave me an opportunity, and it's been a good marriage ever since.
Awesome. How long have you been at Exemplar for?
I've been at Exemplar for 4 years now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite thing about working at Exemplar?
It's more of a family environment. We're a small boutique gym, so it doesn't have this big corporate feel. This corporate way of helping people. It's more about people than money.
Right.
and everybody's there for one another. We tend to get to know our members. Our members get to know us, and we have long-lasting relationships and friendships that start just from helping each other get fit. So.
That's awesome. So delving into the topic for today, how do you help your clients get motivated and find their purpose and their why?
Well, first, when somebody comes and pursues, help from a personal trainer, they kind of have a desire,
right?
And so it's you gotta. It's almost like reverse engineering it. All right, we know what you want in game, but now what's your reason for coming here? More than just I want to look a certain way, or I need to lose this, I need to lose that. A lot of times people find that their reasons might not necessarily be theirs. We get a lot of, my wife, thinks I need to lose weight. I broke up with a significant other. I need to look a certain way to feel happy.
Right.
And a lot of times they'll find that that's not actually the case. You're now doing that for somebody else, for some validation that you don't necessarily need. So let's find your validation that you can always look towards, when you're on your own, that can really reach into other aspects of your life. What's your reason, to become healthy,
Do you have a personal example? Don't have to name any names, just a general, like they came, they thought this was their reason. We worked through it. They found out that this was much more motivating in the changes that you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it's common. I'll give you my own reason. How about that?
Awesome.
That's the easiest thing.
Then there's no one incriminated.
Well, no, I think that they'd all share the story because we talk about that. Let your story be known because somebody needs to hear it. Well, my reason was, and it started out for the wrong reasons. At the same time, it was the only reasons that could truly help me at the time.
Right.
I was in the military. I was on my way to Iraq, and I went through a divorce. Nobody, not necessarily my fault, it was just a divorce, but it was the way I found out that I was going to go through it, and I was just getting to Iraq.
Right.
So remember, I'm a combat documentationist, but I'm out, outside where it's not safe.
Right.
I carry weapons. I have people trying to hurt me. I have to protect myself and others. I have to have my attentions on what's going on around me. I can't really think about anything else.
Right.
And I was just having a very hard time, dealing with everything I was going through, and I was feeling sorry for myself, and all these things, asking myself questions that, I really didn't need to ask myself. What did I do? Why me?
Right.
All this stuff. And I had a really good friend. She was actually a combat photojournalist as well, and she was like, we're going to the gym. I've worked out all my life, but this was a different reason to go to the gym. She's like, You're going to get in here and you're going to work, and you're going to work off all your anger, all your anxieties, all your stress, all your pressures. You're going to work. You're going to leave what you can here.
Yeah.
And that was at one time my reason to go in and applying myself, in a manner that I'm not going to hurt anyone, including myself, and benefit from what I'm doing. Right. So my reason was for my own mental health.
Yeah.
And I really saw the power in that. I mean, sometimes I be doing pull-ups or something, and I just have tears coming out of my eyes, and I'm just letting it go right then and there. And there's nobody there to judge me. It's me and the workout. That's it.
Cool.
This is all we have.
Yeah.
Now use it. And I just know how that benefited me. So, later on, down the road, I just really understood people need to find their own reasons, and your reason's going to change. Your reason's going to change. Your priorities in your life change. Your reasons. Well, now I have my children, and my wife and I, we're a blended family. We have 5 children.
Yeah.
And I never want to get to the point where I can't do something with my children. I need to stay healthy for them, right? So I work out, I work out for mental reasons, I work out for physical reasons, but I use them as a why. I have a lot of whys here.
Right.
And they always change, but I never want to get to a point where my kids want to do something and I don't have the energy or the mobility to do it.
Right.
That is a main reason for staying healthy. So we all have them.
Right.
People just need to find theirs and be honest with themselves. But if it's for somebody else and their validation, it's probably not the right reason. You're doing
Probably
that for
not
them.
gonna stick.
Yeah, it's not going to stick. You're doing that for them. You're not doing that for you. Find what's right for you. Why for you is this going to help? And you use that to fight through those reps, fight through the times you don't feel like working out. That's got to be your motivation, right? To just even walk in the gym sometimes.
That's cool that you felt comfortable crying during workouts, by the way. I just think that's really cool.
I can't tell you whether I was comfortable or not, but it's how I felt. That's how I felt, and it just happened. And people would wonder what's wrong with me. I didn't really want to tell them about it, but that was my time to let out every emotion that was negative, and somehow turn it into something that's going to benefit me, and I can use it for the rest of my life. All right, I'm going to go get stronger, but I'm going to leave it all right here. Right, it saved my life.
Yeah. What do you think happens if people don't ever release that anger, those emotions in a positive way?
Well, I mean, it could be, it just depends on the person, really, but it could be a powder keg. I mean, there's so many people who aren't really comfortable with opening up and sharing how they feel about things.
And honestly, I think even especially with males,
Sure.
and males that are as masculine and built as you, I just think it's really cool. Growing up, I had mostly male friends, and they were rather macho
Sure.
looking and didn't overwhelmingly feel comfortable sharing their emotions. And
right.
Later on, the ones that never really did and never really felt comfortable did go more towards the addiction, alcoholism.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I was just curious if you had the same experience.
I mean, not me personally. I've had clients who use fitness to deal with addiction, depression, anxieties, and we talk about that. We talk about it. We try to create an environment where those things don't have to bother them. Just for a little while. If this is going to be your getaway, then let it be it. But it's better to use the gym, be addicted to becoming fit or reshaping yourself into what you want, as opposed to finding the bottom of a bottle or the bottom of pills, or not allowing yourself to open up and show your vulnerabilities, because one day it's going to backfire, and it could hurt you, it could hurt someone you care about, and when you could have just started letting it go here, find your reason and use it.
I think that's fantastic. I definitely started off using running after I got done playing softball, and I didn't have that schedule just built in. I was just anxious. I was like, okay, I don't have my structure anymore. I used to play softball, practice 2 hours a day. I'm anxious and I don't know why. I've never felt this before.
Sure.
And I would just be like, I guess I'm just gonna go jog until I feel better.
I mean, and if that's what works, then why not? I mean, the benefits are all in your favor. Why not? I mean, like I said, there's just so many people who don't know, and it doesn't always have to be fitness.
Right.
It could be music, it could be art, it could be really anything. It could be poetry, for goodness sakes, just reading. I mean, it could be anything that you use to now combat those things that will negatively affect you. So for me, it just happens to be fitness. That is my niche, and I share that with anybody who needs the help.
So what is do you have an ideal client at all, or anything you specialize in, you would say? Just curious.
Ideal, I try not to put myself in a box like that. I do come from a tactical fitness background, being military, but there's not a lot of people who really need that outside. Anybody who needs help is my typical, the type of person I'm looking for. Do you need help? Do you want help? And are you willing to make some changes to help yourself? All right, that's the type of person I'm looking to help.
Right. Let's see. So give me your favorite turnaround story that you've had.
Favorite turnaround story. There's a young man that I've trained. I trained him for gosh, 7 months. You know, he came in, he was overweight, and he needed to lose weight. This wasn't to look good for an upcoming event. This is, you need to lose weight or you're going to have some major health problems. Came in, started out at 315 pounds. We dropped 70 pounds in about 5 months.
Dang.
You know, 70 pounds. And
how'd you do it?
Making him believe.
Yeah.
Making him believe. And nothing special. You know, I do believe that, you know, you can go on YouTube and figure out how to work out. You really can. But he would come in and we made him believe that what he was doing was going to help. We made him believe in himself. Made him believe that every day when he comes in to work out, you're going to leave that workout feeling a little bit better about yourself.
Yeah.
And he got bit by the bug. He got bit by the bug. On days that we weren't supposed to work out, I'd come in, I'd see him, he's on the treadmill, feeling good about himself, you know, and just understanding the benefit of fitness and just being healthy. You know, it doesn't matter what you make, it doesn't matter how much you have. If you're not healthy, you really don't have anything.
That's right.
You know, so you know, to get him to understand that was the biggest turnaround. I'm proud of him. You know, proud to be a part of his journey.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think really the biggest part that's overlooked about fitness and starting off on that whole journey, if you're not already on it, is realizing what you're capable of and the person that you've become
for sure
during it. Like, I don't know anyone who doesn't start a new, like, real fitness regimen and doesn't come out a more disciplined, confident, like, gritty human that's willing to go through life easier.
No, you're right. I mean, fitness is kind of you know, there's so many life lessons, you know, when it comes to fitness, and hopefully people are applying these lessons to their life. I mean, you're going to come in, you're going to work hard, you know, or you're not going to reap the benefit. That's life. That's just life. It doesn't matter what you do. You're going to work hard, you'll reap the benefit, or you won't.
Right.
You know, there's resilience that you learn with fitness. You know, you're going through times you don't want to be there. You're going through pain.
Yeah.
You know, you're going through fatigue. You know, you're going through the emotional, you know, portion of it. And either you're going to push yourself through it, sometimes with help, sometimes on your own,
right,
or you're going to let it fold you. But that's kind of another way of kind of looking at life. It's really not much different. You know, so when we work with children, we really try to get them to understand, like, this is what life is about here.
Right.
You know, you have a goal. You're either going to work to get it or you're not. You know, but you don't want to turn around, 10 months, a year down the road and see that you've wasted your time. That's a horrible feeling.
Yeah.
And wonder what you could have been if you had put in the effort, right? So to get people to understand that about the world of fitness, I mean, that's just a life lesson.
So to wrap it up, so what would you say to someone who hasn't done anything related to fitness since high school?
Sure.
They find themselves 30 pounds overweight, about to go on statins, and they're like, oh, like, I'm already 55 years old. There's no helping me. What would you say?
Well, I will tell them, first of all, quit lying to yourself.
Yeah.
I'm too old, I can't. All these things are excuses, and the excuse is just a lie. Right? Yeah, we have people who come in there, they're 70 years old, almost 80 years old, and they hit it every day and do what they can to just get a little bit better. The big thing is to kind of break it down. Everything seems huge when you look at the end goal. Hey, what's my goal? You got to reverse engineer that. Let's break it down to today. Today I'm going to eat a little bit better. Today I'm going to move a little bit more. It's not even always come to the gym. Just get out and go for a walk. I'm not going to sit around. I'm not going to go and get fast food. Just these small, quick decisions that you can make for the moment. Forget about tomorrow, today. Can be those small victories, and you keep adding those up, you're going to win. You keep adding them up. But, it's when you kind of look at things and already defeat yourself. Oh, I can't, and I'm too old, or, there's no help for me. Somebody's out there to help you. Trust me. We get people all the time. you know, I personally don't know everything.
Right.
You know, I don't know. I'm a trainer. I'm just a certified trainer. If there's something that I don't know, we're going to find you that help. You know, the idea is to make it more about those people and what they need than about what I think, you know, my ego dictates I can do for them. Let me find somebody that can help you.
Yeah.
Right. And then get them going. You know, it's about saving lives.
That's awesome. And one thing I want to pick up before we sign off, yeah, I'm glad that you said, hey, I don't know everything, because I think that a lot of like younger people and people that aren't like really fully mature yet always like feel like they do know everything. Like think about as you're going through like your adolescence and you hit that point where you're like, I know more than my parents. I know everything.
Yeah.
And then like you keep going on, and like the more you learn, which is also an Einstein quote, like the more you know, the more you realize that you don't know.
Sure.
And so I think that's really cool. Like, guys, only trust people who will admit that they don't know everything. If anyone tells you they know everything, freaking run.
Especially in what we do, because you can hurt somebody. You know, and really, it's got to be about that person, what they need. The idea is to make them healthy, and if you can't help them, that's fine. You know, there's things that I am not a corrective exercise specialist. Do I do a little bit of correct? I know a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you need somebody that's all what they do, that is their niche, then we're going to find you that person. You know what? Let's get you in the direction you truly need. You know, that's the best. Sometimes that's the best thing you can do for somebody. You know. Let's not lie to them. You know, it's really not about, you know, stacking my clients, making this.
Right.
Look, if you're helping people, if you're helping people in any way you can, then that's all you do. That's what we should be here to do. So yeah, I don't know everything. You know, I know some things. I'm always learning. And remember, this is like any other industry. You know, there's research, there's development. You'll find out that what you know in 5 years is totally obsolete.
Absolutely.
You know, so you got to continue to study. You know, you always have to further your education, and ask questions. You know, go and talk to other people who
figure out why.
Yeah, figure out your why. Don't get me wrong. You know, fill up your tool bag.
Right.
But you know what? Ask somebody else. You know, humble yourself. It's okay.
Well, cool. I think this was awesome. So thank you again so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I see you in the gym all the time. All right. This is great.
So if you guys want to be trained by Deno, I'm going to drop all his contact info. If you want to look like this.
I get it from mom. It's all genetics. It's all genetics.
Humility. But also, if you guys have any additional questions about stuff we've talked about, or you just have another question about Deno's crazy history, just drop it in the comments, and I'll relay it to Deno if he's not on the chain like I am, and make sure that we get it answered.
Yeah, we'll get an answer for you.
Yeah. We might not know, but we'll find someone that knows.
We'll find out. Get right back to you.
All right. Well, anyways, until next week, thanks again, and I will check y'all later.
Thanks, guys.
Sweet.
Sweet.